Eminem definitely got his style from Masta Ace. 100%. 100,000%. You look at the concept he has with school and how Kanye kind of had this concept surrounding school. And you just look at the influence that Masta Ace has with those two things right there. And honestly, that is crazy to me because it's like he's not recognized at all as much as he should be. What up, though, y'all? This is a Raptors recommendation. It's a segment of my channel where my producer, San Raptor, recommends an album that I review and check out. This week, we are doing Masta Ace, Disposable Arts. Let's get it.
I said, but if I do another record, it's got to be completely the record I want to do. I don't want to hear no label people in my ear, nothing. So let's keep it independent. And I'm gonna make the exact record I want to make, and then I'll go out on that note. And that album was Disposable Arts.
So Masta Ace was a part of the Juice Crew, y'all. He's well established in early hip hop. I'm talking.
He's working with Biz Markie. Juice Crew has Coogee Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Roxanne Shante, MC Shan. You know, there's a whole slew of major artists. This is the ultimate super group of hip-hop at that time, and still maybe of all time, if you just want to speak on impact compared to the general size of the genre. But yeah, this is...
he was part of that crew, so I just want to get that off rip. Then he ended up making his own crew. I think it was called Masta Ace Incorporated. Came out with like 2 albums. They were pretty good. And then his comeback album is this album, which he didn't even want to. He was basically done with hip hop, and he decides to do one more album. Like, that's crazy. Just to off rip, you know, I might as well do one more. So this was going to be his last album. I'm glad it wasn't. But yeah, no, that's crazy. All right, so this is a concept album right here. It is a concept album showing how disposable the art form of hip hop becomes through time in a classroom setting. Talking, he goes to a university and he has classes and he has all these skits, basically like 8 skits, and they're all separate, which I love, by the way.
It's giving me ideas about how to do my next concept album as well, because I was like, the skits being separate is actually a good thing the more I think about it. Because you can choose to just skip past those into the song if you want, or you can dive into the concept. It gives you the option. When it's laced in, you don't even have the option, you know? And sometimes you just want to listen to the songs. So I think this helps me decide.
Anyways, total tangent there. Sorry, I was literally, my brain was going in full overdrive right there for a second. This album is fire, man. I mean, you listen to Masta Ace's style, which I never even realized this, but you listen to this, you're going to be like, oh, this guy sounds like Eminem, is what you're going to say. But no, he doesn't sound like Eminem. Eminem sounds like Masta Ace. So that's what's crazy about it, you know? And when you hear it, you can't unhear it. You're like, oh, man, dude, Eminem definitely got his style from Masta Ace. 100%. 100,000%. There's no denying that in my eyes now. So yeah, Masta Ace does talk about almost doing a feature with Eminem. He was actually supposed to be on Disposable Arts, which makes a whole lot of sense now. And this is the interview where he talked about it. It was on a channel called Breaking Records.
And I went to the concert. His road manager, Mark, was able to get me backstage.
Yeah.
My first time ever meeting him.
Okay.
And I had the CD or something, but I played him Hellbound, and he's listened to it, and he's like, "Oh, I remember this rhyme. I remember this rhyme." Like, but he'd done it like 4 years before. So
yeah.
As he was listening to it, he's like, "Yeah, I remember this rhyme. I remember this rhyme." And it was at that same meeting that I gave him a copy of the Something's Wrong beat with my verse. I don't know if Strick was on there yet or not, but I gave him a copy of the song, and I was like, this is a song I would like you to get on if you can. And he took it. We waited a few weeks, and the manager got in the middle and was just like,
Paul, probably.
Yeah. Paul. And he's just like, yo, my manager said it's not a good time to do it, so sorry, can't do it. And, and that was the end of that.
It's unfortunate too, man, because not only would that have been a great record, but like with researching Eminem, there's a few points in his career where there's opportunities handed him, like stuff like that, where though he might have been out of here, you could tell as the hip hop fan he wanted to do it, and Paul's persuaded him kind of not to do it. Like that's kind of how him and Cannabis's thing kind of started too and stuff. And just like, as someone who loves the art form that much, it's a shame to see that, because like a record.
As I think back on it, like I don't know what Paul. I never asked Paul what his reasoning was for not letting him do it, but I don't see that it would have hurt his career in any way.
No, not at all. If anything, it would have got the
I think he might have been afraid, because if M gets on a record like that, it opens up the floodgates.
Yeah, and then his asking price comes down.
But not even that, but 50 different people are now going to be asking him to. You did a song with Masta Ace. You can do a song with me.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what the pressure of that could turn into. So
yeah.
That could have had something to do with it. The only other record that he was on at that time was the Jay-Z record.
Yeah, Renegade.
Yeah, that was the only record that he did.
Yeah, it's really the only feature, in those first few years that he did do, aside from, like, Aftermath stuff.
So it was kind of like Paul saying, we got to pick and choose those features very carefully.
That's very interesting. And you look at that, and you look at the concept he has with School, and how Kanye kind of had this concept surrounding School. And you just look at the influence that Masta Ace has with those two things right there. And honestly, that is crazy to me, because it's like he's not recognized at all as much as he should be. I won't say at all. He should be recognized as a pioneer of a lot of things. And I feel like when people are talking about these things and things that people did in hip hop, Masta Ace gets skipped over a lot of times. And yeah, I see clearly with this Disposable Arts album, why people consider it a top 10 album of all time, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't be top 10 for me. I'm just going to say that. But it is a top 10 concept album for me, 1,000%. I mean, this is up there with Deltron, and up there with Mad Villainy and other concept albums, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely feel that. I like the concept. I like the execution of it. I like this showing that we need to cherish hip hop. And this is the message of the album right here. We need to cherish hip hop and its art form. He even lists a bunch of albums at the end. And it's really something inspiring about this album. Going back, listening to it now, just shows that that message will reign true for all time, in terms of like, we need to cherish this form of hip hop. That's never going to go away. In fact, that's going to get stronger the more time goes on, I feel, because as hip hop gets older, we go through multiple generations of the young crowd getting older and doing their own older version of hip hop. And it's just going to keep on recycling, and this thing will come back full circle. Favorite song on the album is Acknowledge. This thing is fire, and when you hear it, it's just like it sounds like once again one of the scathing disses that Eminem would put out or something like that. But it's like when you realize that Masta Ace had this style first, you're like, oh man, like that's crazy. The branch tree of influence that makes that become, if you hear me out, like how much, because Eminem inspires a lot of people, right? And that branch will be going on for a while, and so Masta Ace inspiring him and LL Cool J inspiring him. You just see like the interesting. That's why I love hip hop, man. I love to see where a place goes, and people are always influenced by each other. As Nas said, no idea's original, is nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. All right, y'all. So this album for me is an 8.5 out of 10. I wanted to give it a higher score, honestly, but I have to stop there just because of there's a little bit of style differences in what's being brought forth here, to where it's like, okay, this style doesn't really succeed as well in today's time and today's format of hip hop. It will always be, but you just hear a little bit of datedness there in terms of how everything's put together and how everything is, So that was like a out of there. But then there's also some songs that I'm like, I would skip this song, you know. So like, I feel like because of that, you know, I was like, I have to give it duck it another point. So 8.5 out of 10 is as a concept album. I think like it's a 10 out of 10 concept album. All right, but thanks for checking out the review, y'all. Let me know if there's an album you want me to review in the comments below. What do you think about Masta Ace? What do you think about this album, Disposable Arts? You have to listen to the whole thing, okay? You have to listen to the whole thing. You can't stop halfway through before you judge it. That's another thing. You got to listen to the whole thing, all right? It's like a Tribe Called Quest.
I'm just glad that I did that album. There was enough things happening around me to make me feel like it wasn't worth doing. But then I got that, you know, that renewed feeling of let's do one more for the road, and that's what it was, and that's why, you know, I did the song No Regrets.
Yeah.
You know, at the end, that was kind of like my parting words, you know, and it wound up turning into a lot more.